High on its golden mountain, the great city of Lanka shone at dusk. But something was wrong. The long war had turned, and for the first time the proud city felt afraid. In his glittering throne hall sat Ravana, the demon king. Battle after battle had gone against him, yet he would not admit that he had done anything wrong. His heart was heavy, and his pride was heavier still. Then a thought came to him. There is one, he murmured, one mighty enough to turn the whole tide of the war, my own great brother, who sleeps far below. So down they went, ministers and guards with flaming torches, down a colossal stair into the deep, toward the vast hall where the sleeper lay. And there he was, Kumbhakarna, Ravana's giant brother. He was as huge as a mountain, fast asleep on a couch of stone. But his face was gentle and kind, like a good soul dreaming a happy dream. He was so enormous that the people beside his open hand looked like tiny ants. A whole army could rest in his shadow. Yet nothing about him was frightening, only vast and calm and noble. Long ago, a great blessing had become a strange sleep, and now Kumbhakarna slept for 6 whole months at a time. He was buried in slumber so deep that no ordinary sound could reach him. "Wake him!" cried Ravana. "Wake my brother, whatever it takes." And so the whole army set to work to rouse the sleeping giant. First came the drums. 8,000 mighty war drums thundered at his feet, booming and rolling until the very walls shook. But the giant only breathed on, deep and slow. Next they piled up mountains of food, baskets of fruit, hills of rice, great steaming cauldrons and stacks of sweets, higher than a house. Perhaps the smell of a good meal would stir him. And then, can you imagine? Whole lines of elephants marched right across his broad chest, tramping softly to and fro. To that giant, it was no more than a gentle tickle. At last, the great mountain stirred. Kumbhakarna drew one enormous, rumbling breath, and a gust of wind swept through the hall, making the little people hold on tight. Then, slowly, gently, the giant opened his eyes. And they were the kindest, sleepiest, warmest eyes you ever saw. Everyone had feared a monster, but a good and gentle heart looked out at the world. Kumbhakarna sat up like a hill rising from the earth, taller than the towering pillars, filling the whole golden hall. Dust drifted from his shoulders like clouds from a mountain top. He yawned an enormous, sleepy yawn, rubbed one eye, and reached for the food, for he was very hungry after such a long sleep. Even a giant likes his breakfast. Then he looked down at the tiny figure of his brother, and asked in a deep, kind voice, "Brother, why have you woken me?" So Ravana told him. "The war goes badly," he said. "Our enemies are strong. I need you, brother, I need your mighty strength." But then the giant heard the whole story, how it had all begun. He learned that a good and gentle woman named Sita had been carried away from her husband, Rama, against her will. And the giant's kind eyes grew troubled. A quiet sorrow settled over Kumbhakarna's face. He was a good soul, and he knew, deep in his heart, that a great wrong had been done. Gently he leaned down and spoke. "Brother," he said, "taking Sita away was wrong. This war need never have been. Return her to Rama, ask his forgiveness, and let us have peace." But Ravana turned his face away and lifted his chin. He was too proud to say he was sorry. No, he said, I will not. And nothing his brother could say would move him. Now the giant's heart was torn in two. In his mind, he knew his brother was wrong. But in his heart, he loved him, and a brother's love is a mighty thing. At last, with a long and heavy sigh, Kumbhakarna made his choice. He would stand by his brother's side, even now, even in a cause he knew was wrong. He rose to his full height, his eyes cast down in sorrow. He lifted his great make to rest upon his shoulder and turned toward a far archway glowing with the light of dawn. He was noble, and he was sad, and he did his duty all the same. And so the gentle giant lumbered out, a mountain that walked toward the distant golden light, his head bowed low. A good heart, walking into a war it wished had never begun. And that, my dears, is the sorrow of Kumbhakarna, that loyalty is a precious, precious thing, but loyalty must never blind us to what is right. Love your family with all your heart, and gently, bravely, help them choose what is good. But how that long day ended, well, that is another story, for another starry night.